What is printmaking? Printmaking is an art process where you transfer an image from a surface onto paper. To prepare for the opening of the printmaking studio, we will be practicing some different printmaking techniques. In this video, we will create simple colograph prints using cardboard. Later, we will learn how to do collagraphs with additional materials. Did you notice that the words collage and colograph are similar? Collage means to glue. Colograph means to glue and draw. When you make a colograph, you are drawing or creating a design from various materials and gluing them to a hard surface. Colograph prints have two steps. First, you must create a plate. Then you will cover that plate in paint and press it onto paper to create a print. How do I set up? To make a printing plate, you will need these materials: a piece of cardboard for the actual printing plate, some thick paper. In this case, we're using a manilla folder that's been cut into smaller pieces, a pencil, scissors, a mixture of glue and water provided by the teacher, and a paintbrush to apply the glue mixture. First, plan your idea. For our first colograph, we are going to create an idea based on things you see in real life. For example, a house. Imagine what kind of shapes are needed to create a house. You might choose a square house with a triangle roof. You might choose a rectangular house with a trapezoid roof. Whatever idea and shapes you decide, keep your design simple and your shapes medium to large. Small shapes will be difficult to cut and glue. Once you have an idea, draw your shapes on the manila folder using a pencil and cut them out. For purposes of this video, I have used a Sharpie pen so that you can see it better on screen. Please use a pencil when it's your turn so that you can erase and make changes to your design if needed. Write your name and class code on the back of your printing plate using a Sharpie. Plates can be made out of different materials. Ours are made out of cardboard. Plates are covered with ink and pressed onto another surface to create an image. You can use your plate multiple times to create many copies of your image. After you've written your name, flip your plate over and decide if your design will be horizontal or vertical. Before you glue anything down using this special glue mixture and a paintbrush, it's best to arrange the shapes on your printing plate first. Sometimes it's helpful to try out different design ideas. Now that I've chosen my final design, I am ready to open my cup of glue, being careful not to spill, and I will use a paintbrush to wipe the glue onto my manila folder, gently brushing it, making sure that I'm getting glue on the corners, the edges, and the middle. And I will press and stick my shape down. Sometimes you have to count to 10 to make sure that all parts of the shape stay stuck to the cardboard. Continue gluing until all of your pieces have been attached to your printing plate. When I'm done gluing all of my pieces, I will set my brush off to the side and put the cap back on the glue to avoid spills. This printing plate will be brought to the drying rack so that it can air dry and be ready for printmaking. We will make the actual print next week using paint and a brayer. That's all, folks, for today anyway. Today we will be printing the collagraph plate you created last week. The materials you will need today include 4 pieces of construction paper, you may choose the colors, 1 pencil, 1 piece of goose paper, that means good on one side only. You need an art smock, an ink tray with paint provided by the teacher, 1 foam brayer, and 1 rubber brayer. Artists call rollers a brayer. Start by labeling all 4 pieces of your construction paper. We will label them the way that professional printmakers do. You will be creating a series of 4 prints, so you will label this first one print number 1 out of a total of 4 prints. It's written like a fraction. Include your name and your class code. Today I'm pretending to be part of 3B. You can see that I've labeled my next print number 2 out of 4. My next one is 3 out of 4. And my final print will be 4 out of 4. My name and class code is on all 4 pieces of paper. Keep your paper off to the side while you ink your printing plate so you do not accidentally get color onto your paper in places that you don't want it. Begin by rolling your brayer in the paint. A brayer is the artist's name for a roller. You can roll your brayer in different directions to make sure that you are evenly getting paint on the foam. Cover your printing plate in paint, rolling the brayer in different directions and reloading as needed. When ready, flip your plate over and center it on your paper. Use a clean rubber brayer to roll across the back of your printing plate, making sure that you roll over the center, edges, and corners of your printing plate. Set this brayer down on this metal bar on the table. This will keep the roller from getting dirty. Carefully separate your printing plate from the paper to reveal your design. Move your wet print to the drying rack and set up for your second of 4 prints. Set your second piece of paper off to the side, then repeat the steps of inking your printing plate, centering it, and rubbing the back of your plate with a clean rubber brayer. After you've made your 4th print, it's time to clean your plate by pressing it against a piece of goose paper and rubbing the backside with a clean brayer to remove all excess paint. The ghost print can be put in the recycling bin. Put your printing plate on the drying rack and we will turn it into a mixed media piece at a later date. You may need to do some problem solving with your first few Collagraph prints. In this example, I have used way too much ink. So much ink that my image is almost lost. It is difficult to see shape or any details in my design. If this happens to you, recycle this print, get a new piece of paper and label it with the number that you left off at. This time, use less ink on the brayer and try again. In this example, I have used not enough ink and it is difficult to see my design. If this happens to you, go ahead and recycle this print, get a new piece of paper and number it where you left off, then try again. This time you will need more ink on your brayer to get a quality print. Thanks for watching. I can't wait to see your Collagraph prints.